32 shares of Bank of America, making you the largest shareholder in Bank of America and in Wells Fargo, two of the top three banks. What's the profit there? $11.5 billion, is that correct?
That's about right.
Over the last 6 years in that stock. And do you continue to have faith in Bank of America?
Yeah, I actually said specifically today that a long time before we sold a share of Bank of America. We're very happy. We got 700 million shares, and you know, I like the business. I like the valuation, and I like the management very much. So that, I think you'll see that for a long time in our holdings.
Is it a similar story with Wells Fargo? Tim Sloan just came out recently and said that because of a third-party review at Wells Fargo, there are probably going to be some negative headlines that create more negative headlines for what's been happening there, their management policies.
Well, what you find is there's never just one cockroach in the kitchen. You know, when you start looking around, that was what used to terrify me at Solomon, is what they'd find after the first one. Because anytime you put the focus on an organization, it's hundreds of thousands of people working for it, you may very well find that it wasn't just the one that misbehaved that you found out about it. And of course, it was more than one in the Wells Fargo case. But
in the Solomon case, or the Wells Fargo. Are you comparing Wells Fargo and Solomon?
No, but I'm comparing the shock sort of huge financial institution that all of a sudden people view in a different light. And once you put a spotlight on and start looking at everything, you're likely to find something additional. Is
that enough to concern you in terms of your ownership of the shares?
Not in terms of long-term investment, no. It's a terrific bank, as is the B of A. And there were some things that were very wrong done there, but they are being corrected. And my guess is if you look at any institution that's around growing, I mean, something's going wrong at Berkshire right now, and I wish I knew about it. But I mean, and we have methods of trying to make sure we do find out about it. But I can guarantee you, with 367,000 people, you know, every one of them isn't behaving in a way that I would like.
Warren, let me ask you about Amazon and Whole Foods. I'm asking in the context of Kraft Heinz. And I realize that there are not a lot of Kraft Heinz products that are sold at Whole Foods. But this merger and the lowering of prices at Whole Foods has put some enormous pressure on the shares of grocery sellers. Something like $12 billion in the top four grocery sales stores. Shares was lost in market capitalization just last week. That puts a lot of pressure on those grocery stores to then improve their margins. They're going to do it on the backs of companies like Kraft Heinz. Do you worry about how profitable that company can be with all this pressure that's out there?
Well, there's always a huge struggle going on for decades and decades and decades between brands and retailers. I mean, and to some extent, retailers try and create their own brands. That's why they have private label. But brands are hugely important, and the retailer is hugely important. And the retailer is always trying to get the upper hand in those negotiations. The brand manufacturer is trying to do it through advertising and through all kinds of things. So it's always a struggle. And when you get particularly strong retailers, a Walmart, a Costco, and now an Amazon, and they keep getting stronger, their position improves. And particularly packaged goods have had more trouble building followers through advertising in recent years. Martin Sorrell was talking about that the other day. So that struggle is tilting perhaps toward retailers. You've got the big German operations coming in on discount, and they feature their own brands. So that'll always be a fight. But right now, the retailer is doing better in this round of the fight.
Yet generally the way to fight against that is to get even bigger. So would Kraft Heinz go after a company like a Mondelez, whose shares have improved just in the last recent
That
sessions?
doesn't really help you that much in the fight. I mean, you know, P&G was always thought of as having the ultimate muscle because they were so big in so many brands. But it does help to have a group of big, powerful brands if you're negotiating with a big retailer. But what they really care about is the strength of the specific brand. I mean, and you know, we have Duracell batteries, and the real question with people carrying that versus carrying some other brand is how they feel the consumer feels about that brand when they walk in. So if you have 5 items that might be served at dinner, that doesn't really make you a lot stronger than having one.
Are you saying that Mondelez's brands are not worthy?
Oh, no. I'm just saying that they're not the additive factor if you have 10 big brands versus one. I mean, if you decide to buy a Coca-Cola or a Sprite, both from Coca-Cola, the one doesn't influence the other. You probably many people don't even know that Sprite is made by Coca-Cola. So your positioning within the retailer, all he cares about is what's going to move, basically. And having a group of brands doesn't translate to that much more bargaining power.
So I'm not asking this directly enough. Would Kraft Heinz buy Mondelez?
I think the answer is no on that.
Okay, there's a direct answer to that. Would you go back after Unilever?
Oh, no. That was a misunderstanding, basically. We will not make hostile takeover offers, and we did not intend that to be hostile, but it turned out it was. And we immediately, the next day when I learned about it, we called it off. It was a misunderstanding.
Well, very quickly, I want to go back to Tim Cook at Apple, the CEO there. He has been fairly outspoken recently about some of his disagreements with the Trump administration and with some of the actions of Donald Trump, the president. You have been uncharacteristically silent. In the past, you've been pretty outspoken about your politics. Why have you been silent now?
Well, I worked for Hillary. I raised money for Hillary. I voted for Hillary. I was disappointed when she lost. But we have a president, and we have North Korea. We have a whole bunch. I am not in the business of attacking any president, or do I think I should be. I've lived under 15 presidents, believe it or not. There's been 45 presidents of the United States, and I've lived under a third of them. And I bought stocks net under 14 of the 15. First one was Hoover, and I was only 2 when he left, so I hadn't gotten active at that point. But Roosevelt came next, so I bought stocks under him, even though my dad thought it was the end of the world when he got elected. And I bought stocks under 14 out of 15. So this country will move forward, but it is important the government functions well. It's important that both from the government side and from the private side, that they try to figure out how to maximize the resources and to move forward. So I'll take a position in the 2020 campaign, the 2018 for that matter. But I won't say if my candidate doesn't win, and probably half the time they haven't over the years, that I'm going to take my ball and go home.
You mentioned the 15 presidents you've lived under. That's because you're 87 years old today. We want to tell you happy birthday, and Smith & Walensky has put together a cake for you that they wanted to show you, and we just want to wish you a very happy birthday here.
Too bad there's not enough there for you, but that's great.
They put together all of your favorite
my guy Fargo. He always delivers.
They put together some of your favorite things, and I think you'll get a kick out of this today. But we want to thank you very much for your time, and wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.